Hey Garth Gang, and welcome to a Path of Exile video, back to Heist builds. And I've spent the last few hours this morning, local time 0906, going through and updating all of the Path of buildings for all of the Heist builds that I've been amassing over the last couple of leagues. And so I'm just going to go through them with you now. Just get Path of building up. There we go. Okay. So these are the builds we've got. Alright, so I'm going to start with the one that I don't play, have never played, and have no evidence that it will work. It was a request from someone. So this is a Pathfinder. This is not League Start viable, and the idea behind this build is to run into a blueprint, and all you're doing is running to the end, cracking open the reward at the end, and running out again. It is a ZDPS build. You've got Frost Wall to stop mobs hitting you. You've got 5 link body armor with room to put something else in there. Cast when damage taken set up, and then whichever skill you want to put in your bow. It is pretty much OP gear, not that bad, but it's still quite a lot. There's no enchantments on anything, and it is the idea of this one is to literally be as fast as possible, getting in and out as quickly as possible. We're on a 404% move speed, and that could probably go higher with some tinkering. So that one, someone requested me to build that in 3.16, and I've just been keeping the Path of building up to date just in case. Contracts wise, again, you're running into deception / agility contracts, getting the reward at the end, and then running out. And then with the beams and the agility contracts, you wait for the proc from your molten shell, and when that's gone, you use your life flask when you're on low life, and then your life goes back up again, and you're out of the contract. Contracts should take less than 30 seconds, BPs about 45 seconds, depending on how far away the reward is from the escape hatch. So yeah, that one. Yeah. We've got here the level 59 to 60. I've recently done a video on this in the last couple of days, and I've updated it all to 3.18 now. Path of building's been updated. I've updated, I've done some new skill trees for a leveling area, and then done this Act 6 one, and then all the end goal as well. And then all of the gear setup is done. Now with the leveling gear here in this one, it is just literally life and resists, and then whichever 4 links you need to put your gems in, with a suggested bow if you're not running a quill rain, and the best one is the recurve because of the attacks per second. And then where you can get your flasks as well. So if you're doing this on League Start, you pick up your Quicksilver flask in Act 1, then upgrade to Act 2, and if you don't have move speed boots by the time you pick up the second Quicksilver flask from the den, you can sacrifice the Act 1 Quicksilver with an Orb of Augmentation and a 3-link pair of boots, well, any pair of boots really, but 3-link would be better, and then you instantaneously get perma 10% move speed boots. If you're lucky enough to then find more Quicksilvers, you can upgrade that 10% to 15%, 20%, 25%, etc. And then here at Act 5 you get your Granite Flask if you're doing the quest reward, and Act 7 for that quest, and then Act 10 you get your Stibnite Flask. On a League Start, of course. Then you need a Endless Heist setup. Let's just update this. Oops, wrong one. There we go. Save that. There we go. And then again, by this point, hopefully, if you're in trade league or you've had lucky drops, you get your 2 Looper Hools. You got Lionized Paw. You've brought a Rat's Nest. You've brought or crafted a Hero's Bite. And then you're into a Quill Rain as well. And then finally, depending on how much currency you want to put into this build, Uber gear. So you've got your Hero's Bite still because it is the best quiver, rat's nest for our, because we're on level 5960, Queen of the Forest, armor evasion gauntlets, replica line eyes, and then this amulet. What you have to do is this drops from blueprints, so if you're on League Start, you'll need to find the lowest eye level amulet you can find, which I think is about 70, 71, 72 ish. You might be able to find one lower, and then roll it using fossils is the best way to do it. Craft of Exile will help you choose which fossils you want. I usually get mine in 5 to 6 fossils, and you should have some resonators and fossils from your own heist. Hopefully you've got enough to roll it yourself, and then hopefully you've either been getting oils, or you're going to have to buy the oils, and then you can roll your sovereignty anoint on there as well. Buy a Stitch Vice, craft it, or yeah, just be careful of the eye level again because of our low level restriction. So yeah, that's all the gear, there's all the skills. It's got a comprehensive notes section, and I'll even put in there why we do 59 to 60 as well. So that's that one. We've then got the other build, which is the Path Building's closed on me a few times today. This is what I call the high level heister, because you can still do the 59-60 endless heist. You can bump it to go to the Act 10 version, where you're level 66, 67 ish, and do that endless heist without killing Act 10 Katava. And then if you wanted to, once you're finished doing that, you can then go all the way up running blueprints, and this build can also run maps. It can map. It's done. There's a video on my channel where it's done a T16 Kirak mission map. Okay, we did use 2 or 3 portals, but it can do it. So if you look into League Star or do Heist and then do maps, this build can do that. Tried and tested. What I've also done is I've added a new skill link here, because with Ashes of the Stars having a nerf to its drop rate, the price of Ashes is now ridiculous. So at that point, the weapon stays the same, the casting damage taken stays the same, and all we do is drop Grace and an Enlighten from our aura setup, and then run Malevolence, Defiance, Banner, Determination, Purity of Elements, and then go to a 6-link self-cast Toxic Rain / Caustic Arrow. So if you're running a heist, you should be able to get away with the Toxic Rain for clear, and then if you come across a, if you're mapping, you just pop in the Caustic Arrow that you've been leveling in your offhand, and yeah, you can then do damage that way. So that's there. I haven't changed the tree. If you're not running Ashes, then you've got a point, because there's a point here later on in the tree, around about here, I think. There we go. One of these, or was it down here? There we go. There's a Grace. So if you're not running Ashes, then you're not running Grace. The other 3 auras are far better than Grace, so you gain a point back. So you get a free passive point effectively to put wherever you want to put it. That's the skills. Same with the items. I didn't realise, but I'd done League Start to map 60 to 80, and then I went to 95. So we've got 2 setups, 81 to 94 with Ashes of the Stars included, and there's the setup for that. And then you've got one without Ashes with a Agat amulet to get your needed stats for the strength and intelligence to run your gems. So that's that one. All updated to 3.18 PoB. Oh, don't save it. There we go. Now, if you've got Uber currency, or you're lucky enough to play Gwenon and get a Mage Blood, this is the PoB for you. It's exactly the same as the other one. If I've just put a Mage Blood in there and altered the flasks. Again, this one does run an Ashes. Assuming that you've brought the Mage Blood, you can afford an Ashes. If you haven't brought one and you've been lucky to get a drop / Gwenon, then again you're going to have to take out the ashes and move the ores around again, dropping the grace, dropping the enlighten. That should be a purity of elements. Whoopsie daisy. I'll have to update the PoB. Obviously I didn't do a job as I thought I did, and that goes to anomalous. Boom, there we go, that's that done. You drop grace, drop enlighten, make that a 4 link, and then move your what's it into a 6 link with the empower and efficacy. A few maneuver abilities, and again, if you're not running ashes, you get a free point from the grace evasion there to put in somewhere on the tree, wherever you want to put it. Then we've got the Scion Heist build that came to us from Guitaraholic. Again, I haven't done anything to this, I've just updated the PoB. It's all Guitaraholic's idea and build from Localhole's stream in Twitch. I don't know how anyone else, I do not know how to contact Guitaraholic other than through Localhole's Twitch stream. But the build is good. Someone league started with the build and they said it's wonderful, unless you get into the laboratory tile set, and then you get a bit stuck because the NPC is getting interrupted. The trick with that one is to get to the door and then stand still and wait for them to cast the pot of dot on you, then activate the door, so the NPC is then uninterrupted opening the door. And then over the last couple of days in the TFT Discord server, in the Heist discussion channel, Discord user Pixel Kick has been very nice and shared their Poison Concoction Raider build. I haven't done anything to this, it's completely their build. I haven't looked at it really. It looks good on PoB, and a few people in the Discord discussion channel have run it and they said it's great, and they love it. This is only a level 64 tree, well 60-ish tree, 61 tree. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably run this myself at some point during this league, and then I will do leveling trees, leveling gear, add some notes and etc. The few people that have run it from the community, the Heist discussion community group, have said it's worked wonderful. They've really enjoyed it, and it's an alternate to Toxic Rain. So there's another idea if you want to pick that up. And that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different builds for you to do Heist in. Okay, 4 of them are Raider, but you know, Raider's so good at Heist. If I come across any more, or if you out there listening to my video want to share your Heist builds, you don't have to do the work. Send me the end game PoB, either on the comments below or via Twitter or via email. Everything is gar412, and then email is gar412@gmail.com. And I'll add them to the document, the Google document that I've been working on. Right, this Google document is in white. I don't know how to change it to dark mode, so apologies. Here comes a flashbang. 3, 2, 1, and there it is. So this is the Google Doc that I've been working on. As you can see, I've edited it. There's a few people. There's always a few people in here having a look. So that's on there. So we've got the latest cheat sheet where to get all the information. I haven't updated this yet to 3.18 because nothing's really changed. Well, I've updated the number, but the info is still the same as far as I'm concerned. I'll have a double check in there, but I think it's pretty good. I had a look just before league start, it was fine. There's not been any major changes. So I've updated the path of buildings, although I do need to update that one I just edited for the purity of elements, so I'll pop that on there. So we've got the low level grace. I do not suggest this one unless you're an SSF. I did a video which I'll link at the end of this one, showing the 2 runs I did in on this particular build. It was in standard, but all the gear is achievable in league on 2 level 60 demolition contracts, one with grace, one with purity of elements. The purity of elements is so much better. Lucky / unlucky enough on the demolition contracts that both of them were tunnels, so you get the fire towers that fire and ignite you, and you also get the chilling towers. Now on the grace and the purity of elements, it didn't bother, it was in and out nice and easy. The grace one got slowed 2 or 3 times and got ignited a couple of times. I had to use my life flask a couple of times going through that, whereas on the purity of elements no life flask was needed. So in my opinion, I know it's only a small test, like 1 contract on each version, but I lay my money that the purity of elements is the way to go, which is this one down here. And as you can see, I've the videos there that I did, I think it was a couple of days ago maybe. I haven't updated this one because, like I said, I don't think it's worth running this one. Even in SSF, you'd be better off running purity of elements. I'll keep it there for those that would prefer to run grace for the extra speed from Queen. Yeah, just for the extra evasion, I suppose. But yeah, whatever. That's a high level heister one. I've just gone through. There's a Scion one from Guitarholic. There's a high level heister with the Mage Blood and the Contract and Bluepoint Farmer. This is the one I said you just running to the end and picking up the reward and running out. You don't stop for chests. You're not stopping for mob kills. You are literally relying on your evasion and your move speed and copious amounts of use of Decoy Totem and Frost Wall to protect you. It is minus DPS. There's no DPS on this build at all. It allows you to do contracts in under 30 seconds because you run to the end, grab the thing, grab your rogue marker reward, run out, hand that into Forsters, and then you're into your blueprints, and then you're running straight to the end of the blueprint, grabbing the reward and running out again. That's it. My chaos recipe tool, I don't believe it's any change, so even though it says 3.17, how to chaos recipe tool is still fine. How to endless heist is still good. I haven't checked this one, Dakin's video. I assume the strategy is still the same. Same with Spicy Sushi's video from 3.17, and I believe this Reddit post was done a couple of leagues ago. But again, the strategy is still the same. Price may vary, but still. Oh, spelling mistake. Well, grammatic mistake. There we go. So yeah, that's the document. I'll add on the poison concoction PoB and update this one. I think it was with the purity of elements modifier. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to go now play Path of Exile after spending 3 hours in PoB. Hope you're having fun. See you in the next one.